So we're finally getting an LR Super Boo in Dokkan, and straight up, this guy already needs help. It's just a very unfortunate thing about villains in Dokkan, and how they decide to handle these villain characters and villain teams. So today we're going to be talking about, what we could potentially see to help this Super Boo. Straight up, unfortunately, this celebration does not seem like it's going to be buffing this guy in any way. If we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the units that are releasing, it's basically just Super Boo dropping in the game with everything else that existed already. These Go tanks don't really help him out. None of these World Tournament units. I guess, is Super Boo on... No, yeah, Super Boo's on Sworn Enemies. So funny enough, this guy actually does support Super Boo with his EZA, because he does give 40% attack support. I guess he supports Super Boo, right? But I mean, Sworn Enemies is not a team you're gonna run. But again, issue with this guy is his team, so just straightforward. He's not even on a 200% leader skill as of this moment. His best team is probably the Transformation Boost team led by STR Cooler. STR Cooler is actually a I believe 80%, no, it's 170% Conquest of Terra Transformation Boost category lead. STR Cooler could be fine as a unit in terms of a leader. I feel like you could probably clear most events in the game with him as a leader, but you would really like an actual new team, 200% leader skill team for this Super Boo to be used on. I think that's just the first and foremost. We need a new team, ideally a new Majin Power leader. I think would be really good for this LR Super Boo. Obviously his best linking partners are going to be Majin characters. If you take a look here, I mean, links pretty well with Exchange Boo, obviously, right? But Boo Tanks links well with Buuhan, Kid Boo, some of these Janemba characters on there. But a lot of these Kid Boos, Boo Tankses, Buuhans, even Evil Boo, maybe we can get a banner and an Evil Boo in the future or something. He links well with, right? Even Fat Boos, he could share at least like a couple of links with Boo Piccolo, right? This Janemba babe it's a Boo Janemba, right? Isn't that what that is? So again, Majin Power could be really helpful. This is Janembu, right? Yeah, that is Janembu. Who could actually be okay, I guess, right, on a full extreme team. Kind of, not really, but yeah, he's very old now, right? He came out in 2021. No, ZZ was 2022. His Awakening was 2021, right? But he's over a year old, right? But still, this team I feel like could still make it with some of these units that are on here. Like, again, STR Kid Boo could still be solid. This Super Boo could actually be quite good once he's actually transformed. I think that, if this guy gets an EZA, they could potentially be really good. Again, like I said, you're okay. You would like to get an EZA and you could be really good, right? There's a very clear-cut way to make this team really good for the Super Boo. And that's really all he needs, because right now, by himself, he's just kind of wonky. You realistically just use him with STR Kid Boo. One thing I really don't like about this guy's design is just not a fan of him having the 70% chance to guard. I just feel he should have just had guaranteed guard. I don't see why, I don't see the reason why he can't have guaranteed guard, because at the very least he could be kind of like, not really like Golden Frieza level of tanking, but he could be just a very strong slot 1 tanking unit, even maybe not without like all of his links active, so that he actually has at least a place. But if his guard doesn't proc, in a lot of situations he will get pretty badly hurt, is an issue with this Super Boo, right? So you really badly want these Majin Power units to activate a lot of these links, make them a little more consistent defensively, maybe even just another slot 1 Majin Buu unit so he could super attack first and again be even more consistent in terms of his defense. Now, again, a very easy idea is to just give us a new Buuhan, right? First and foremost, Buuhan has not gotten a unit since 2016. This is the last Majin Buu Ultimate Gohan unit we received. Now, in terms of just Buuhan overall, of course, we did get the LR, Buuhan Buu tanks during the 2020 Worldwide Celebration. Now, very easily, they could just EZA this guy with a Buuhan. My idea, personally, is Tanamata, right? Tanabata Part 2 is likely going to be a Carnival LR this year. I would presume that with the Dokkan Fest LR, they'll make that Part 2 LR instead of Yellowcorn, a Carnival LR, which obviously would make a lot of sense, right? So, because of that, I could see that easily being like a Buu Saga celebration. Super Vegito, Dokkan Fest LR, just straight up Super Vegito. His Dokkan event hasn't been, updated in quite a while, right? I mean, I guess I might also just show you guys, right, in terms of Dokkan events, you can sometimes maybe tell, what previous character could potentially get another unit based off these really old Dokkan events, right? I mean, if you scroll all the way down here, Super Vegito, very, very low. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's right there, 8th. This Super Vegito came out, what, in 2017, right? If we take a look at physical Super Vegito. Yeah, October of 2017. This was the last standalone Super Vegito. So again, we can get like a Dokkan Fest LR of Super Vegito there. Then again, the last Buuhan was also again 2016. So Part 2 LR Buuhan or something could really work. Well, I feel like that could be a good idea. And then you EZA this guy and S tier Vegito in that celebration. That would be a very sick celebration, and that would be very easy to set up this Majin Power team. Because imagine Majin Power, you have 2 Buuhan leaders. You have physical EZA Buuhan there. Maybe they EZA this unit. Maybe, I don't know when, but eventually they can EZA him. They can give us a banner unit, Super Buu. Maybe that could be a really good idea. Again, STR Kid Buu could be good. STR Super Buu could be a nice option as well. And then suddenly you have, a bunch of units added to the team that are like, okay, this is actually cohesive. We could actually do something with this team. And although it would be a very tight-knit team, I think it would work a lot. This Maju actually does also support. I think he could be a solid option, especially once he's transformed. When there's a Majin Power category ally, he does become an all allies 2 key 40% attack and defense support unit. That could be really helpful for the Majin Power team. Use him as a floater, he could be good. He could provide you some healing just in case, right? The team is full of healing, obviously, so just another healing unit wouldn't hurt, right? Obviously, having an extra healing unit would never hurt, especially for this guy, because he wants to have a 90% HP or higher when he attacks. So obviously the more healing you have on the team, the much more likely you're going to get that full passive ability, which is helpful. This extra 30% defense, I feel like people will look at that and be like, oh, that's not that big of a deal to get. It actually will be a big deal for his defensive stat, because that's a pure 30% multiplicative buff, right? That basically will add on to this section of the multiplicative buff right there, right? So that does make a difference. It's more than just a normal 30% buff, right? Like start of turn, for example. So that would be really good for him to continuously get that. Maybe eventually we get, again, Majin Buu Saga Fuse Fighters, kind of red zone, like a super class Majin Buu Saga red zone would just be perfect for this guy. He would absolutely cook in that red zone. So hopefully that's a thing. I could definitely see that be added if we get Tanabata. Tanabata is a major celebration, so it's not impossible to think that they would add some sort of difficult content event around that time. Maybe during Golden Week we get a difficult content event that's a few spider centered or Majin Buu Saga centered, right? Who knows? There's a lot of different options there, but I mean, it's very easy actually to just make this Super Buu get a lot of help, but an issue is that they usually just drop these units by themselves, right? I mean, there's a whole line of units that drop, and it's like, okay, we just need one extra unit to help them. Or 1 or 2 extra units, or a new leader for the team. Ever since this meta started, even right before STR Kid Buu, we're like, okay, we need a new partner for STR Kid Buu, a new Majin Power leader, especially when the 200% lead meta started. We need a new partner, like a new Buuhan for him. And even to now, we don't have like that Buuhan partner we want for this guy. We got basically 2 Super Buus, but it's like not what Kid Buu wants. Kid Buu wants Buuhan, a big bad boss's partner, would be really, really helpful for this STR Kid Buu. Thinking about next, we got Tech Sin and the Physical Omega. We're like, okay, maybe if we got like an LR Omega Part 2 of that anniversary, we could be cooking. No, we didn't get anything like that. Even like some Broly cards. Broly is actually extreme class, but it's like, he's a Saiyan, so it's kind of different, right? But if we move forward from there, we also got, Ginyu got help. I'd say AGL Cell. It's like, okay, we need a slot 1 cell unit and he's good to go. And even to this day, we never got that slot 1 cell unit. Even Int Cell, the Int Cell himself is easy that came out this year. We're like, okay, we need a slot 1 cell and we're good. And we have no idea when that's going to be a thing ever. So that's very unfortunate. Speaking of this year, Super 17, another unit, we're like, okay, maybe we could really use a slot 1 partner for this guy, or like an Android 13, or Age of Android 13's EZA, and that celebration just completely flopped and completely failed that Android 17 so bad. Very unfortunate. There's another unit I can't think of at the top of my head. Oh yeah, Fusion Zamasu and LR Goku Black and Zamasu were like, okay, give us a new Goku Black Dokkan Fest, and allow us to run this Goku Black team, and with STR Rose as well. No, they just didn't really drop that. They're like, okay, Vegeta and Trunks is enough, right? No, I don't think that was enough for that team, right? The only team that really got help last year was the Cooler team. And thank God. Imagine if Cooler's team dropped and it was just STR Cooler that came out that year, then maybe easy STR Cooler, which is quite good. And obviously the Meta Cooler. And it was just those 3 units, and then the rest of the units were pre-2022 units. Like, imagine we didn't get Golden Frieza. Imagine we didn't get some of these EZAs to the Wicked Bloodline team, like Full Power Frieza. What if he didn't EZA, right? I guess he doesn't really contribute to that team, but you guys get the point, right? The Cooler team got such a massive help in 2022, so hopefully they do the same and brush out these other teams, especially considering that we didn't get a huge power creep in jump in terms of the bosses. I can't speak apparently. Units have been getting stronger, obviously, but the bosses themselves didn't really improve, right? Like, since Shenron is very difficult. I feel like a lot of people actually finally see the light and agree. If not the hardest boss in the game, like at least a top 3 fight in the game. And he is like, he's like so much different from Red Zone, where it's like, oh yeah, he's a level above Red Zone. Not really, no. He's very still comparable to some of these Red Zone bosses, right? It's very situational, but like that will allow some of these villain teams to shine. Like even AGL Cell right now, if the next Dokkan Fest, like Golden Week, is, I don't know, Gohan versus Cell for some reason, and we get like a perfect Cell slot 1 guarding unit with dodge chance in him, then AGL Cell could find a resurrection. Worldwide celebration is like Fusion Zamasu, slot 1 guarding unit, 40% reduction or something, or a new Rose egg, something like that, right? Where, funny enough, a lot of these teams need like the slot 1 guard unit and stuff like that. And Super Buu is pretty much exactly that, except what he needs is everything else. Whereas a lot of these other villain teams are like, okay, they need. It's really funny. Yeah, a lot of these other units want a unit so bad that's like Super Buu. A slot 1 guard unit with like 500k plus defense, just able to handle that space so that your other units, like like imagine Fusion Zamasu kind of unit, slot 2 like that, like kind of like STR Kid Buu, right? But this unit needs everything else, so I don't know. We'll see what they add. Hopefully Majin Power, they just don't drop the Super Buu by himself and they're like, okay, we should do this. This is cool. We haven't done this yet. Then they just forgot about him. Please, I'm hoping not. I would not anticipate, by the way, like Golden Week to be Majin Buu Saga. I saw some people saying Golden Week could be Majin Buu Saga, and the issue with Golden Week being Majin Buu Saga is that I feel like they're gonna let Super Buu sit for a while, and then they're gonna give a unit like later on during the year. They usually don't go back and like back to back with the same theme. Like, when's the last time they've realistically done that? They always are jumping back and forth, right? I mean, this year we went from I guess we did technically go from like GT to GT. Not really though, because we kind of went from like, a Spirit Bomb theme to Super 17, then we went to Battle Gods, and then now we're Kale, and then we're back in the Majin Buu Saga. Last year it was again the Dragon Ball Super Broly, and then GT obviously. Then we jumped to Namek Saga with Ginyu, then we jumped to Buu Saga with Majin Vegeta, then we jumped to Saiyan Saga, then we jumped to Cell Saga. Like, a lot of these different teams, they're kind of jumping around because there's so many like extra stuff that have to fill in with these teams. And eventually, if they don't like increase the power like of these bosses too much, then these teams will eventually round out, which hopefully that will be a thing, because again, 2022 was basically just a reset for the game. So I don't know. That's just enough for me rambling, I guess. Let me know what y'all think, what you would like to see to buff this LR Super Boo if you're a big Majin Power fan. Uh, Honestly, what they should have done, they should make these yellow coin banners have a banner unit. Like, what if this guy came out with like a banner unit buff Boo? Or again, he links really well. Where is the link thing that I had? He links really well with Evil Boo. What if we got a new banner unit Evil Boo, shared like 5 links with this guy, and then he's able to, you know, support or Rainbow Orb change or do something like that to help this Super Boo out, so that, you know, at least, okay, he gets a brand new partner with him, so he isn't kind of like, I wouldn't say dead on release, but he just feels a lot weaker than he should as a brand new summonable LR. Or maybe if Kale instead, I love Kale's unit, was a Super Boo unit, or not Super Boo, I guess, it was like a Buhan Dokkan Fest, or another Evil Boo Dokkan Fest. Or maybe the Easy A instead of LR Count Caulifla was Tech Super Boo for some reason. Even if it was, actually, you know, if it was Kale that dropped like that by herself, it should have just been a Boo celebration. Like, instead of like, oh, we're dropping this guy and, you know, you could summon for him, maybe he'll get help, maybe he won't see a unit until 2024, which is what happened with STR Kid Boo to 2023 now, when we're barely getting out of the Boo now. I'm just really upset at how they handle villain releases, so hopefully that changes this year. Fingers crossed. I'm not gonna hold my breath for it though. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think again, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.